Welcome back to Area DMG. I am your host, Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and today we're trying something experimental. And also terrifying because this is something. Anyways, we're doing Radio DMG Versus. This is episode 3 of Radio DMG Versus. And for this episode, we're doing an audio only, but with cool visualizers, interview with Alexis Tipton that we had not published yet. And then an older Radio DMG rewind of an Echostream Q&A. Now, a couple things before we start. Radio DMG Versus is back. Radio DMG Normal, like the actual podcast, will be back in January. And it'll be every other week. We're making a backlog right now to handle that. Radio DMG Versus, though, will be about 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes each week, at least one episode, starting now in December. So the basic idea is to do 52 of these things next year. They all won't look like this. This one's just experimental. Mainly because, why not? I've got all these neat little things and filters to play with. Some of these might even just be, the actual Radio DMG stuff over video game footage. We have some stuff planned. But yeah, for right now, this is the experimental show. Enjoy it. For now. Welcome back to Radio DMG. I'm your host, Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and I'm here at Nan Desu Kan 2016. It's their 20th anniversary, and I'm here with
Alexis Tipton. Hi, guys.
Just in case our studio audience doesn't know who you are and what you do, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Alexis Tipton, as I said, and I am a voice actress based out of Dallas, Texas. I work predominantly for Funimation Entertainment, dubbing the anime. I also do work for Echostream 5000 Studios in Dallas, Texas, and I also work for studios out in Los Angeles, dubbing video games and anime. And I'm also a film and theater actress as well.
So, what attracted you to acting and theater?
Oh, goodness. Well, I did get my start in theater. I started as a very small child. I think I kind of didn't have a chance because my mom is very, and always has been, even before I was even a thought, has always been very involved in the arts. She's kind of an artistic jack of all trades. She does it all. So between that and the fact that my dad and a lot of members of my extended family are also very supportive of the arts, I was very lucky to receive a lot of culture from a very young age, ballet, live performances, museums, all kinds of things. And so, I was very much touched by that world from a very young age. And my very first live performance of any kind that I ever saw was a professional touring company of the Nutcracker Ballet. And when I saw that at the tender age of 3 years old, I knew that I wanted to be up on stage doing something. I knew, I didn't understand it because I was so young, but I later discovered that it had given me this amazing feeling watching this story live and experiencing what these amazing, incredible dancers had to offer. And I knew that in some way I wanted to be able to give that feeling that I had received to other people. Maybe not for dance, maybe, I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do, but from a very young age I knew that there was power in that, and I wanted to be a part of it. So my mother, being who she is, very much encouraged that. And I started studying theater and found that I really loved it and have just continued since I was very small to learn and to grow. And it's just been an amazing part of my life. It is my life.
What was your first performance in theater?
Oh, goodness. If you want to be real technical, my very first performance in theater was in kindergarten when we did a Peter Rabbit play, and I was one of the three sisters. I think it was Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail, and I think I was Mopsy. But my first true play was in third grade. My school, I grew up in Kansas, my school had this tradition of every year the third graders would put on the same play, so we knew it was coming. And it was a Western retelling of Cinderella called Clementella. I know.
It's talking about those little carriages with the fringe and the Surrey on top.
Yes, and instead of a glass slipper, it was a silver cowboy boot. But I got cast as Clementilla, and it was a lot of lines. It was actually kind of a lot for a third grader to handle, but like I was so excited, and after we did it, I was hooked. And just kind of continued from there. But yeah, Clementilla.
What part of Kansas?
Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, I was born in Wichita, Kansas, and I lived there until I was 9.
So in the only 2 actually inhabited sections of Kansas.
Right, yeah, it's big enough to be on a map. So there was that. Could have been worse.
I've driven through Kansas so many times.
I'm sorry.
Well, at least you didn't say like Colby or Saline.
No. I mean, by Kansas standards, it was a city, just not by other standards in the United States. But no, I've actually been back in the last 5 or 6 years. An old friend got married, and my whole family went up for the wedding. And the town, I can't recall it a town anymore. The city had really grown up.
It's got a Starbucks now.
Yeah, well, I hadn't been there in like 15 years. And I was like, oh, and I'm seeing all these people from my childhood, and I was like that hadn't left. Like, my family and I, we have a joke. You either stay in Kansas for the rest of your life, or if you, quote unquote, get out, you do something really unusual with your life. Everyone I know who's gotten out has a really unusual job. So, yeah.
Escape from Missouri.
There you go.
Yeah,
you feel it. Yeah,
much.
you feel my pain. No, it was a great place to grow up. I have no regrets about being a child in Kansas. It was a really great place to grow up.
And when you stepped outside, you could see across the state.
Right. It wasn't that bad. But my family moved to Southern California when I was 9. And then, of course, like the Dorothy jokes never ended. Oh, because you're not in Kansas anymore. I'm like, oh, I haven't heard that 8 million times.
You just want to give them a Toto to the T.
Right. But yeah, so and then I moved to Texas when I was in middle school. I've lived in Texas the longest out of all 3 states, so Texas is home.
So how'd you get tricked into voice acting?
Well, as I said, I've been doing theater for quite a while, and when I moved to Texas in middle school, even when I lived in Southern California, my elementary school, when I was living there, actually let out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because we started so early. And so when I would come home, I had enough time to watch the entire Toonami block, like the original Toonami. And I didn't know it was called anime. I just knew that there were these really cool cartoons on TV. I really enjoyed them. They were just different than, like Looney Tunes or, Animaniacs or whatever, stuff on Cartoon Network. And so, I enjoyed it. It was something my brother and I enjoyed watching together, but we didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until I moved to Dallas, this group of girls that kind of adopted me into their group of friends that I'm actually still friends with today, they were big fans of anime. And that was sort of a conversation that they had with me when they were introducing themselves. They asked me if I liked anime, and I said, do you mean like animation? Like, I'd never heard that word before. And they started explaining it to me, and I was like, oh, that's what I've been watching. Yeah, I know what that is. And so fast forward, when I was a senior in high school, I had been really competitive and really involved with theater for about the past 5 or 6 years. And anime had become a growing hobby for me, and I found out that Funimation was located really close to where I lived. Long story short, got the necessary information that I needed to submit my demo reel, my resume, all that good stuff to be considered for an audition. I was lucky enough to get called in, and here I am, almost 8 years later. So
success.
Yeah. I just thought it was going to be one of those things that maybe I got called in for a few small things, and then it would just sort of like fizzle out, and that would be it. And I just kept getting called back, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to say no. Like, this is amazing.
It's money.
I initially auditioned for them my senior year of high school, but I didn't start working for them steadily until I was a sophomore in college. And so, being 19 years old and like getting to do all this like really cool stuff, it was just amazing. Going to school full time and then acting after school. So it was really cool. It was really interesting. And then I had something cool to share with all my friends because they were really excited for me because they knew what anime was, and my family was excited for me because they knew that I was getting to combine, my passion for acting and my hobby that was anime. So really cool.
And you get to get sent out to places like this, like
exactly,
Nan Desu Kan.
yeah. And that took, because when I started working, it took about a year for things to come out. So there was sort of this like year or two where I had, a number of credits, but I either couldn't talk about them or they weren't out yet, so I couldn't share them with anybody. But then when I started getting to do conventions, I've always just loved travel, and I've been very fortunate to have parents that thought it was important and had the means to allow my brother and I to travel with them. So when I started being able to travel for work and get to just talk about this really fun job that I have and get to talk to people that like the same things that I do and network with other actors and other professionals in this industry, and it's been amazing. I've gotten to go to so many places that I never would have had a reason to go to, and just met so many people, so many amazing people along the way. So yeah.
So what do you think of Nan Desu Kan so far?
This is my favorite convention. I've been doing conventions for about 6 years. I've been to a lot, and this is my second time at convention, words, I talk for a living.
Yeah.
This is my second year at Nan Desu Kan, and I've been to some amazing conventions, but this one is on another level. Not just because of the convention itself, but because of how myself and the other attendees are treated and how we're provided for. I mean, I feel like a princess when I come here. Like, it's incredible. And then you have beautiful Colorado, beautiful Denver. It's a perfect time of year. A lot of me and the other actors joke that, like, if something falls apart back home, like, we would totally move here. It's just amazing.
This is literally where the capital is in Hunger Games.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, we just have so much fun.
So which Disney princess do they make you feel like?
Oh, God. All of them. No. Sometimes I feel bad because we are so well provided for. I'm like, you guys, oh my gosh, like, I don't want you to think I expect this, but everyone here is just so amazing. And I've noticed last year and this year that a lot of the staffers at this convention have been doing this a long time, that they're very emotionally invested in this convention, and there are a lot of family members that do this together, that have been doing this together for a long time, and the pride that the volunteers and the staff have in this convention is very evident, and it shows through in the execution of the events and how everything is set up, and even just in the emails that I receive leading up to the event. Like, it's just so organized.
It's like, that's not a, hey, you showing up?
It's a dream. Well, sometimes I don't even get that. Like, it's such a dream. Like, I wish that some representatives of NDK would give seminars to other conventions on, like, how to have a really successful convention. And as you said, it's the 20th anniversary, so they must be doing something right.
They've been around for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm always so thrilled to be here. It's amazing.
So, would you say the energy of the convention is pretty good?
Oh, of course, yeah. And it's always really nice when I get to come back to a convention that I've been to before, because I see so many familiar faces. And I've also learned that the attendees of this convention are just as loyal as the staff and the volunteers. In fact, a lot of volunteers are also attendees. And so, yeah, everyone is so sweet, so polite. I never have any problems with anybody in panels or on autograph sessions. I mean, everyone is just as sweet as they can be. I think it's just something in the clean mountain air up here. Like,
there's lots of stuff in the clean mountain air.
That's true.
It's not always clean.
There's a political statement in there, and no, but I'm always so impressed with every aspect of this convention, the attendees included. So.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed at a lot of conventions, because we do cover a lot of convention ourselves, there's a lot of energy around here, a lot of really good, positive energy. And people go to these conventions and they're just bouncing off the walls, they're just happy. It's a great little high.
Yeah.
They have that wonderful energy. But when Monday or Tuesday rolls around, when people are going back to their schools or jobs, their bosses and employees, they tend to lose that energy. Do you have any tips for how people can keep that energy?
Goodness, I think one of the reasons, and you're absolutely right, everything that you just said. I think one of the reasons why Nan Desu Kan and conventions in general, especially successful conventions that provide a wonderful space for attendees to come and let their freak flag fly, and express the love for their fandom or fandoms, is that unfortunately, and I think it is becoming better. I've certainly seen a change even in the last few years. But unfortunately, with so many pop culture things, there is the, the word nerd associated with it, and there are people that want to bully people that are interested in anime or Disney or sci-fi or what have you. And luckily, quote-unquote nerd culture is becoming more mainstream, and so I think that's sort of pushing the bullies out. It is still present, and I think the wonderful positive energy comes from the fact that so many people can come to an event and know the second they walk through the doors that they have at least one thing in common with everybody here. And that feeling of inclusion, that feeling of acceptance before you even start talking to people, it's in the air, it's in the walls, it's everywhere. And so I think that energy might dissipate because then they realize, especially if they are the unfortunate victims of bullying because of their passions, that now they have to go back to school where it's not this kind of community. And so that's why I used the term reality. Like, it kind of sucks. You get to come to this utopia for a weekend, and then you have to go back to real life.
Or in some cases, a zootopia.
Exactly. But I think, to answer your question, I think to keep up that energy, I think it's so important to just find people outside of a convention that love the things that you love. If you're in school, especially if you're in college, usually most college campuses have an anime club. A lot of high schools are having anime clubs now, or video game clubs, or whatever your passion is. A lot of public libraries have anime clubs. Find a place where you can go that you get that same sense of belonging. It may not be on the same scale, but you will still have those people that I automatically have something in common with these people. And like so many other things, I think it's just about feeling accepted and feeling validated and knowing that it doesn't matter what you're interested in. As long as you're not hurting someone, who cares? And if it makes you happy, that's all that matters. So I think just finding a sense of community outside of anime conventions, even if it's an online forum. Because I've also noticed that bullies are less likely to target people that move in groups. And it doesn't matter what they think. If they still think that what you do is beneath them or whatever, if you have a group and they see how many people are rallied behind you, they're going to back off. And also just keep in mind that bullies are just sad individuals that don't feel like they belong anywhere. So don't let the bullies get to you. Find community and carry that energy from the convention into your communities outside of the conventions. And make the world a better place.
So, on a slightly lighter note, well, definitely a lighter note
right.
Before we get going, is there anything you'd like to promote or let us know about?
Well, Funimation later this year is coming out with a redub of The Vision of Escaflowne. Very exciting. We premiered the first two.
Yeah, I remember the original dub.
Yes.
I still have my box for that.
Oh, wow.
And my Blu-ray.
Wow. Well, we're redubbing it, and it's uncut because the original Escaflowne dub was cut because they were trying to appeal to younger audiences at the time. But when we release, I voiced Merle. I'm really excited about it. But when the box set is released, just know that you will have access to not only the original Japanese, you'll have access to the original dub, and you will also have access to the new dub. So you'll have two dubbing options, and then the original Japanese. So if you still love the original Escaflowne dub, it is still going to be provided for you. I hope you'll give the new dub a chance. We were all very passionate about it. We're so excited to appeal to new fans and bring new fans into the Escaflowne fold. But it's also very important to me and the rest of the cast to also have the blessing of the original fans. So that's definitely something to look out for. Also, if you want to see anime faster, I recommend signing up for Funimation.com's Elite Video subscription. That is a sort of Netflix for anime on their website. You get streaming, dub and sub, hundreds of titles. All these series will be out on DVD, but you get to see them ahead of everyone else. So it's also Funimation's a way to cut down on pirating. So it's really, really helping the industry because pirating kills the industry. It kills the industry in America, it kills the industry in Japan. So do what you can, support the industry, buy legal dubs, check out EBS, you won't be disappointed.
You guys also have like those, the simulcast too on that, right?
Same thing, yeah. Broadcast. Sometimes they're called simulcast, sometimes they're called broadcast dubs, tomato.
Yeah.
Same thing. But it's a wonderful initiative, and we're getting in so many new shows, so definitely check it out.
So where can people find you on the internet?
I'm most active when it comes to social media on Twitter. You can follow me at Alexis Tipton VA. VA is in voice actress. And Twitter's probably the best place to find me. I also have a website. If you'd like to send me fan mail, it's just alexistipton.com.
And so Twitter's your favorite haunt?
Yes.
Thank you very much. This has been Radio DMG. I'm your host, Wesley the Mile High Mouth. I'm here at Nan Desu Kan 2016, their 20th anniversary with
Alexis Tipton.
And until the next show comes out, you are now caught up.
Hi. We're Echostream. Yay, alright. I thought we were waiting for a microphone, but maybe not. Who knows? So, what we thought we might do today is answer your questions, because it is Q&A, but also maybe play you a little music that we're working on now so you can hear some stuff, some of the new stuff, although if you were at the concert last night you heard some of it, or maybe you saw me holding a French horn and couldn't really hear what was going on with that thing. But let me introduce the band real quick again. That's CJ on the end there. CJ plays electronic drums and also percussion on some of the new stuff that we're doing. And this is Jen. She does drums, like acoustic drums, and also percussion stuff. I'm Tony. I play, thanks. Excuse me, do you have a microphone? Oh, okay. So I'm Tony, and I produce, I put the music together. I do the arrangements, and do a lot of the writing for the band. And this is Tomo. Tomo is here for looks. I love Tomo. No, Tomo's the guitar player, in case you didn't know. And this is Ryoko. She's also here for looks. You know, we gotta have one for the girl, one for the boys. And she's the singer, and also she plays keyboards a lot on the recordings and stuff. So, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
What was your inspiration for your album cover, the new one that just came out?
The Duality of Courage?
Yeah.
That's a good question. All right, well, let's do the long answer, since this is Q&A, and we have to fill the time somehow. So that album, actually, it's not a concept album, and our albums are not concept albums, although after we've put a bunch of songs together, we kind of find a theme that unifies things. And when we're picking the songs that go onto the albums, because we make more songs than are actually on the albums, and when we're picking the songs that go onto the albums, we think about a unifying theme for them. So they're not concept albums, like they don't start from let's do a concept, but they do have a thread that holds them together. And that album, Ryoko and I had watched a video called White Light, Black Rain, and it's a documentary about Hiroshima. And one of the stories that's in there, it's a very good documentary, and if you haven't seen it, definitely watch it, but it's really sad, obviously. But one of the stories that's in there is about a girl who's, her and her sister were in Hiroshima, and when the bomb went off, they were with their mother, and the bomb went off and killed their mother, and they watched it happen. They basically saw their mother die, and they survived though. And she said that a few months later, I guess, when they got the trains up and running very quickly after Hiroshima and after the bomb, and her sister went and stood in front of a train and killed herself. And she went to the same train track, same area where her sister went to, and she stood in front of the train, and right before the train was going to hit her, she moved out of the way. And she said that at that point she realized there's two kinds of courage in the world. There's the courage to die, because to kill yourself or to die, it takes a lot of courage to step into that unknown world You don't know what's beyond. But to live also takes another kind of courage. And she said that she had realized that her sister had one kind of courage, but she had another kind of courage. And so that's where the album title came from, The Duality of Courage. And that, we gave that idea, that story I told to our graphic designer, who's also a very thoughtful guy and a very cool artist. And he came up with this album cover of the lion and the diver who's going into it, but the equation that's in there is actually the equation for the event horizon. And the event horizon is the point of a black hole where you can't escape the gravitational pull. So the diver is going towards this point, but not quite at the point yet. So there's still the point of being able to kind of go somewhere another direction. And that's what that is. Very
One
long.
more question.
Oh, yeah.
Are you touring now, or are you going to tour anytime soon, or?
No. I mean, we don't really tour too much. We play the East Coast quite a bit. But we do have a couple shows coming up that are really cool shows. On October 10th, we're playing with Puffy Amiyumi and Boom Boom Satellites and Zazen Boys in New York for the New York Anime Fest, and that's on October 10th. And then in November, we're playing at the Anime USA in Baltimore. So those are some cool shows that are coming.
One more, and then I'll just
Oh.
let everybody else have their questions. This one is for Tomo, actually. How old were you when you started playing the guitar, and what inspired you to play guitar? And you're awesome.
Was the last one a question?
Question, comment.
I think I started when I was 15 years old, I think. Yeah.
And you just, did you have like family that helped you play, or you just
Oh,
wanted
well,
to learn, or?
My dad used to be my dad played the acoustic guitar, and then my mom was a stage actress. So it's like me is like collaboration of them.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other? Oh, you have a question?
How old do you meet?
Ryoko. Okay, well, Ryoko and I met in London. We went to the same college. And then Tomo and I met in Japan. We played in a band together where I was the singer. And you'll notice that I don't sing anymore. But that's how we got going. And then we played on a lot of different projects in Japan for the record label that I was producing for. And then Jin and CJ and I met here in America, and Jen started playing with Echostream first, and then CJ came on later. Actually, we were gonna the project that we played with in Japan called Unknown Frequency. We were gonna do it in America, and then I realized I really can't sing very well, so we decided not to do that. But it's better for all of you. But he was gonna play drums on that, and when we decided to focus more on Echostream, he came on to play the electronic bits of the stuff. So that's why we have two drummers, which I thought was a really cool. We actually saw Massive Attack do it. Anybody like Massive Attack? Yeah. If you don't like Massive Attack and you like Echostream, go check out Massive Attack. You will like Massive Attack, especially the song called Teardrop.
Oh yeah.
You will love the song called Teardrop. I guarantee.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Anybody watch House? The theme song for House? That's Teardrop. Yes. And it's cool, right? Yes. Yes. Right. Yes. Very cool song. That whole album is awesome. So we saw them do it, and I was like, oh, I want to do that. So. Yeah. Oh, and yeah. I think that's it. So,
Oh, just about Adrian.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. And one more thing is Adrian, as the bass player, and he's got family in town, so he's actually with them right now. But he's I work with him on some other stuff, other projects as well. So I invited him to play some shows with Echostream, adding a lot to it. By the way, love it.
Okay, so my question was kind of like, what do you guys think of this whole
everybody has so much energy, and then everybody likes, after we play, everybody's so excited, and so makes us excited. I love it.
In New York is a really hard place to play. Everybody's very jaded in New York City. I mean, everybody goes there to play. There's a lot of really good bands, and everybody's in a band or something. Not quite as much as LA, but pretty close. And so when you play in New York, people are like, all right,
You're good.
yeah, cool. And even people will be like, you'll talk to them maybe a couple weeks later or something. Yeah, it was really good. I'm like, really? You thought that was good? Like, I couldn't tell at all. But when we come and play at the anime conventions, it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of the energy at these conventions is just so high. It's really fun and really cool, and so it's great for us on stage. But it's just also neat because a lot of times I'll talk to people and they'll be like, "You're our first concert," and that's a neat feeling for us. It's great, to feel like we're actually introducing young people to something that's artistic and new and stuff. So yeah, in the front. Oh, in the back with the hat. We'll do you first, yeah.
Have you guys ever done shows or anything work in Japan?
Well, yeah, we used to play in bands in Japan, and he played in a lot of bands in Japan, a lot of Visual K bands, and then we did a lot of shows in Japan as Echostream. Well, a few shows as Echostream actually, the three of us. Yeah.
First of all, you guys are my first concert.
Oh, cool. Hey.
How many concerts do you guys played at besides this one?
Well, on the East Coast we played a bunch of cons. I would say we've done, I don't know, anywhere between.
Four?
More than that. A lot more
5 or
than that.
6?
More than that.
No, the major cons, like the bigger cons, like I would consider this kind of a bigger con, and it's been about 8.
Including other things
And then a lot of smaller conventions and a lot of smaller not exactly conventions but live shows for Japanese bands that come through New York and stuff. A lot. So yeah. Any other questions? I saw a hand over here. Yeah.
This is for everyone, individually. What's your favorite song that you guys have done?
from our song.
From our songs?
Our song, right?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. Hmm.
Come back to
No.
Homework.
A couple, so. But Nostalgia, that we played second yesterday. I was playing piano and singing. It's really starting slow but getting bigger. Then the song called Whole, that's in the Duality College. That Tony was talking about the story that I made lyrics based on that story. So it's kind of too emotional for me, but it makes me cry on the stage. But yeah, it's my favorite song.
Actually, one of my favorite songs is a song that she wouldn't let me put on the album. It's called Jane, and it's on the single, and it's a song that she wrote a long time ago. It's like the first one you wrote in English, I think.
Yes.
And I love that song. So if you have the single, if you bought all three of the all three of the CDs, you'll have it. It's called Jane. It's on the single. It's one of my favorites. I have others too.
I like the Dragon because the structure is very unique, and then it's coming big kind of orchestra, dynamics. I like that kind of thing, and also the Ryoko mentioned about Nostalgia, the second song from yesterday. That was actually I was really moved after we finish like da 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 bang. The audience, man,
Yeah.
that's why we are here.
Yeah.
I really felt like that's why we are making music. That's the moment. Only that moment we are walking, right? I really felt that.
I have to agree. I really like playing Nostalgia. I just love that song. And I guess second that I have to mention would be Static. I love playing Static as well.
I would have to say probably my favorite song would be Just Kill Me. That was actually the first song I heard before I was actually in the band. Tony gave me a CD and he's like, listen to it, let me know what you think. And the way that song, just like the way the music flows and Ryoko's voice, they kind of have that counterpoint. And her voice just kind of floats on top of the music. And I was like, how can I not be in this band? And I actually went to see them before I was in the band. I went to see them as a fan, I guess you could say. And it was cool. I was just like, yeah, let's do it. So I actually have all you guys beat. I got my autograph signed when they were 4-piece, before Tomo was in the band. So top that.
So, the documentary you're talking about, we watched it in history class.
Oh, you did?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and I think it's really neat that we can relate to that.
Mhm.
And like the story you're talking about was a story that made me legit cry.
Yeah, yeah.
In the movie. And my question was, what's the hardest thing about having like to when I know I'm sure it gets nerve-wracking when you're up on stage or something like that, but what's like the most difficult thing you have to do when you're together as a band trying to, I don't know how to word it. Here, let me reword this. What's the hardest thing you have to do when you're up on stage?
Remember which notes to play?
There's a lot of different variables in that question, though, because I mean, for us, there's like an issue of distance on stage. So I don't know if you noticed, like last night we have earbuds in, and we actually, for some songs, we have a click track because there's that distance issue. So there's like a delay. So we can't listen to each other, actually listen, because by the time we hear each other, it would be too late. So there's an issue of syncing time, and then like Tony said, syncing the melody and making sure everything's right. And Ryoko's vocal makes sure everything. There's a lot of stuff, to think about in that little half-hour show, So.
Yeah, it's the most difficult thing coming together on stage.
Keep yourself like, how can I say?
Keep the energy up.
Energy up, like your tension up, like because, like if you're on the stage, when you're on stage, sometimes really good audience, sometimes not, but you should keep your tension like this much, because if it's because the audience will feel what you feel, they're gonna search how, like if I enjoyed a lot, probably audience will enjoy a lot too, because they can feel the concert or the stage is really like kind of connected, I feel. So yeah.
Does that answer your question? Kind of, sort of. Yes.
Do you have any advice for people who might want to be like artists someday?
Musicians. Practice hard, and be honest and true to yourself. So like, you gotta make the music that you want to do, and but you have to be realistic about it too, because that we live in the world that we live in. So if you want to make noise music, and I have a lot of friends who make noise music, then you have to expect that your audiences are going to be kind of smaller or whatever, right? But if that's what you want to do, then that's great. That's awesome. That's what you want to do. If you want to play to like big audiences or whatever, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to find out the best way to do that, but you are your own best critic, and you have to be hard on yourself, but it has to be fun. It's like it's a juggling act, you know. You can't be too hard on yourself, or else you're gonna bust. You know, you're gonna get depressed and stuff like that, right? But you have to be honest with yourself. Does this sound good? No, or yes. You know, and if you think it really sounds good and you really believe in it, you know, just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and don't give up. You know, but if you're kind of like on the fence about it, and you're like, maybe it's not that cool, you know, or you know, if there's really a basis for that, then you might want to try a different approach and keep trying a different way to look in on this art thing. You know, keep finding different ways to do it, and then something will click, and when it clicks, you'll know. You'll just know it. You'll just be like, it's the eureka moment, you know, that's it, you know. So
It's not easy to just go whatever you want. We always hit the wall.
you hit the wall. The
Yeah.
wall's there, you know, but you got to go through it.
Yeah, and then just enjoy.
Make the music that you want to listen to. You know, because if you're not going to have fun. Cool. Any other questions? Oh, yeah.
Where's everybody from, and will you come back to Colorado?
I'm from Osaka.
Oh, I'm from Florida. Whatever, nobody cares about Florida.
I was born in Hyogo, which is next to the Osaka, and then I spent time like long time in Osaka too.
I'm from New Jersey.
I was born on a little naval air base in California called NAS Lemoore, and then I was raised in Jersey.
When I was 2, my dad.
Yeah, there you go.
Then when I was 4, I moved. And to answer your second part of the question, we would love to come back here. We've had a really good time. So go ahead, yeah. So I think if y'all can make enough noise, you know, get the convention to bring us back, you know, maybe not next year, but maybe the year after that or something.
It's being taped. We should make some noise.
So yeah.
My question is for CJ. How did you get started on the electric drums versus the acoustics? Or did you start on the acoustics?
Actually, my first electronic kit was my practice kit, because you know, a lot of times, like a noise level, like if you live in certain areas, you don't want the cops knocking on your door every 10 minutes. So electronic kit, you can plug your headphones in, and all you hear is just like either the tapping of the pads or the mesh pads, whatever you have. So it's a good way to practice in the house without actually using an acoustic kit. And I actually had one, and Tony came up with the idea that he wanted to do this. I'm like, dude, I got one at home. Let's just bring it to, you know, rehearsal studio, and then we just use it for that. So basically, like my role in the band, when you listen to the very first album, it was all a sequencer. So basically, like if you saw somebody on your stage, like a guitar player, and they'd have a sequencer, just hit play. What Tony decided to do was take all that information, which is in the computer, and break it up and send it to my drum kit, where I'm actually playing all that stuff live. And a lot of people don't do that. So basically, instead of just pushing play on a little box on stage, I'm basically like a live sequencer. So, say for instance, Just Kill Me, I actually have background vocals in some part of it. Or that's Fall Down, and there's actually background vocals, so it changes from song to song. So it's funny for me, because people come up to me sometimes and they say, oh wow, you were really great. I don't know what you do, but you were great. I'm like, sometimes I don't know either, but thank you. You know, but it's cool, because for me,
Wait, really?
Yeah, it keeps my brain going, because at first, like when we first start working on the song, I have to coordinate what sounds we want and what pads I'm going to put them on, and figure out a sequence where I can play, and I'm going to remember it where it's comfortable. So from that, then it goes to the actual song, and we rehearse it, and then, like I said, every song is different. I might have vocals here, I have 808 bass, I have an actual drum kit on one song, so my brain's always, which is perfect for me, because I'm out there anyway, so yeah, there you go.
This is for Yoko and Tomo. Do you guys miss Japan?
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah, especially, you know,
Food.
Yeah, it's
I've got poppy if you want it.
yeah, food, and of course, you know, our family in Japan.
Do you guys visit often?
Yeah, I visit like once
A day?
I wish. Once a year.
Oh.
downtown Denver, they have Sakura Square. They have a Japanese grocery store with all imported Japanese food. So
Oh, really?
if you want to go down there and have
Okay.
Japanese food, used to go ahead.
Fortunate. Thank you. Unfortunately, we don't have time.
But we have a big supermarket in New Jersey too, right?
And my question is for our lovely vocalist here. How long have you been singing?
Actually, it's a funny thing that I started to play piano when I was 3. So I studied piano all my life. I went to college for the piano, and I just loved singing when I was a child. And after I finished college, I'm just like, okay, I want to sing. So since then, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you come to America?
Why did I come to America? I was doing music in Japan for record label, and what I want to do myself, what I want to make is actually difficult. It's difficult to do in Japan because my music taste is a little bit different from J-pop. I like kind of like European music more than J-pop. So I decided to, I want to go to America or Europe, but I chose America.
I kind of joined the Echostream like 2002 in Japan. We played a couple of songs, but they decided to move to America. So I was like kind of supporting them through the it's the first album, Identity, which is like using the internet and then recording and then back and forth the files, and then but the Tony was like calling me like every day from America. What did you say?
Should come on.
He said he should come on, but he said like I love you, I need you, or something like that.
I'm lonely at night. I'm cold.
So 1 year later, I decided, okay, I'm gonna go because I like the Echostream. Yeah.
Yes.
What's your favorite song currently? That's not your own song.
Yeah, favorite song. What do you like listening to?
My favorite band now is not band but Yonsei. He is a singer from Sigaros. Sigaros is a band from Iceland.
Iceland is a country.
Yeah. Iceland, right?
Yeah,
Iceland. Yeah, Iceland is a country. Yeah, and then he's doing solo projects right now, and he's touring right now.
If you have a chance to go see it, go see it.
Go see it.
If he comes through Denver, I don't know if he will, but
I don't know. Maybe he's coming back to America soon, November.
it's amazing.
It is so amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like looking at the what does it say? Land. He said.
Oh, glacier. Well,
Yeah.
Sigaros is like glacier rock. I mean, it's like it's amazing. But Yonsei's solo album he's an incredible singer. So check it out. Definitely.
Yeah, you'll see.
Yeah. I've been listening to that. I also like Radiohead a lot. The like OK Computer and on. I don't like the early stuff so much. And actually, we do Creep as a cover. I don't. Yeah, I never really was that into the Radiohead version of Creep. I mean, obviously it's their song. But what I liked about it was the melody and the lyrics were really good. So when we started doing our cover. It's almost more like a remix than a cover version for me. You know. So.
I like the Heart from the Nine Inch Nails.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw the video, like live video. It was showing with the like full screen, and then what's that? The dead animal, but it's going
Backwards.
backwards.
Rotting.
Yeah, that was amazing. So I just love that song.
I guess currently, or actually most of my life, Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. If anybody knows that song? That's definitely one of my favorite songs and one of my favorite music videos too.
Wow.
Just one,
Favorite
just
song?
one.
Yeah, I can't think of a favorite because I like so much music. I can't think of one actual song. What's in my CD player now? All right, I'll pick one right now. I'll just say August Burns Red, Composure. That's one I can think of off the top of my head.
Who?
You wouldn't know. Like my musical taste, sometimes it varies, but right now I'm in like this very like kind of like a hardcore state, kind of borderline emo hard kind of state. But then I go into my industrial goth stages, and then I go back to like Slipknot and Lamb of God, and then I go to drum and bass, and then I go to reggae. So for me to pick a song, it's like forget about it. But that's the one I can think of off the top of my head. So
Yes.
This question is for Tomo. It seems like everybody is wondering, what is the secret to your hair?
How do you get your hair to be so pretty?
My hair.
Everybody is wondering that, huh?
funny enough, I get that same question.
This is just go to Japan and you can get this here. I think. Or I don't know. My mom has like similar here. Maybe from that, or I don't know. I don't really care about my hair that much. I just like straight my hair like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't do too much too. Cool. What's your?
Where do you see Echostream in like the future and stuff?
That's a good question. I like this question because this is a good segue into what I wanted to do next. Very good. Where we're trying to go with Echostream is, in the past, it's been very electronic. The first album was almost entirely electronic, and then some guitars. Like, there's no acoustic drums in the first album. It's all electronic stuff. I did the first album, for the most part, pretty much by myself with Ryoko, and then Tomo, like we said, did some stuff overseas with the internet, but it was really hard working so far away. The second album was very band oriented and a lot heavier in nature, more of like a real rock heavy, lots of guitar riffs and stuff like that, but still a lot of electronics, changing the sounds with computers and stuff like that. Where we're going in the future musically is we're actually working on subtracting the computer element out of it, but still trying to keep a cool, unique sound. So it still keeps whatever that essence of what makes Echostream music unique, which is obviously, partially coming from her voice, but also coming from the production around it too. And that's where we're going. So what I wanted to do, if we have time, how much time do we have? Until 2 o'clock?
We have until about 5 to 2, yeah.
Okay, so we've got about 20 minutes. So what I wanted to do is play a couple songs for y'all. I wanted to play a song from the first album and a song from the second album, and then a couple of the new songs, and that should be about 20 minutes. So you can hear what I'm talking about with this. Is that cool with everybody? Yes. All right. So, are there any final questions? Because I think we've got about 3 or 4 more minutes. Yes?
I had a more serious question.
Yeah.
Do you ever listen to your own music just for fun, or is that weird to you guys?
No, I mean, the music that I make is music that I would like to listen to, and I think it's similar for everybody in the band with this, I mean, I don't listen to it exclusively, and actually after I'm done mixing a record, I can't listen to it at all for a while, but, I mean, definitely, but I tend to like to listen to other people's music. So, yeah, sometimes. Yes. I'm sorry, what? Well, I mean, the best place to keep up with what we're doing and find our music and whenever we put new music up is Facebook. I'm trying to be better about Facebook. I'm really bad about it because I'm just like working on music and stuff, so I don't really have time.
And
Yeah, he's got
Tony,
that. He's got it.
and
Yes.
the Last FM, right?
Oh, yeah, I just started actually putting stuff up on Last FM.
And like,
Somebody had made a Last FM. Somebody in France made a Last FM account for us like years ago, and it took me a long time to get control over the account, and I finally did, and then I forgot about it. And that was like a few months ago. And the other day I was like, oh, wait a minute. So if anybody has Last FM accounts, or if you know what it is, but Facebook's really the easiest place because everything's there. And if you weren't able to get anything here, like if you ran out of money or whatever, we do have a shop that's going up on our Facebook page as well, and we send it and we can sign it for you or whatever if you send us a note or something. So yes.
Hi, I had a real quick question.
Yeah.
You were talking about how you used to sing with your previous band and such, and you were talking about that song "Creep" by Radiohead.
Right.
I was wondering if we could get you to give us a little bit of an acoustic vocal styling.
Not at all. I'm sorry. You do not want to hear me sing it. But here's a funny story for you.
Okay.
Actually, I had originally started working on that arrangement for me to sing. And then when we started getting really serious about Echostream stuff, when we moved to America, we kind of changed it around a little bit for her to sing it. So actually, originally, did we ever play it live? We did, right?
Yes.
As Unknown Frequency, we played
Oh,
Creep
yeah.
live. Yeah, okay. Yes, I don't remember.
actually, he
took
doesn't give
the
himself
videos.
credit. Like the stuff
You don't
that he
have
was
it on
writing
your
was
phone,
really
do you?
hard and really
Do you have it on
edgy.
your phone?
So what on the
No,
frequency?
no,
No,
no.
I don't have it.
Yeah, you can find it online.
Yeah, there actually was a page.
They're
on it,
actually,
so,
I don't know.
yeah, just look up Unknown Frequency.
I'll
You'll
probably
find
throw it out into the world. It's not a bad album. It's just we're not supporting it live anymore. So, yeah, you don't want to hear me sing it. Believe me.
Okay. No.
I know. I'm sorry.
We kind of
but-
do.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna happen. But thank you for the support. I can. Yes. Then I think one more question, right? We have time for like one more question. Okay. Oh.
I have a question for Tomo. Do you mainly play acoustic or electric?
Like acoustic or electric guitar you mostly play?
Mostly electric. Yeah.
And then one more.
My question was just like the songs you just play. Can we find out on either of the albums?
No, they're not released yet. But you can find them online. If you go to our MySpace page, I think they're up there. If anybody still remembers MySpace, you don't have to log in. That's the good thing. So you probably forgot your login and the user password, but you don't have to log in to listen to it. But we are putting it up on our Facebook page and stuff. So they'll be up, and then you can loop them and listen to them and stuff. Cool. And if you're on our Facebook page, there's also, I don't know if it's up yet, but we have a mailing list that we send out stuff to, and whenever we make new stuff or whatever. Because I'm working on some solo stuff, and I think Tomo's got some stuff in the works, so you'll be able to hear more of what we do, as well as Echostream, because we're all pretty busy, artistically. Cool. All right. Thank you very, very much, and yeah, you can ask us later, I guess, afterwards. Because I guess Oh, you know what? Go ahead.
Okay. I noticed you're wearing like an Arachnoid T-shirt.
Oh yeah.
Just to
Arachnoid,
represent
yeah.
with the old 8-bit stuff.
Yeah, man.
What are your guys' favorite? This is a real quick softball question. Favorite video games?
Oh man.
I got sucked into Modern Warfare 2 for a while, and then I made the mistake of checking how long I had played, and it said like 3 days. So
user tag real quick.
no, I don't play it anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. I stopped. I cut cold turkey, and I had shakes for a while, but I just cut. I was like, no more.
Are we talking classic games or modern games? What are we talking?
Either.
Favorite video game of all time? Oh wow. Oh, classic game.
We've been doing Galaga over there.
Yeah, we were out there till like 4 in the morning last night.
Yeah.
Galaga.
Playing
Galaga's
Galaga
definitely
right
one of my
there,
favorites.
feeding quarters into
Arkanoid.
it.
God. Okay, I'll just go with those two for the classics. Right now, what I'm currently playing, Burnout Paradise on PS3. So I'm like halfway done with it. I've only had it for a couple weeks. So, but yeah, I'm mostly like into car games like Gran Turismo and stuff like that. So, or shooters. I was big into Mercenaries for a while, but
I know what Tomo likes.
Final Fantasy. I'm a big fan of them. Then the favorite one is the 7, because you know what? That's the only one. After you pass the game, you won't be satisfied, because something like here, like, because that's from the Japanese background. At that time it happened. That was like kind of chaos, like come like big like religious thing attack, and then some kids kill the kids and then put their head on the.
Sounds like a good game.
Well, anyways, I love that.
He's very easy to buy birthday presents for, because all I have to do is go find the latest Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest game and just give it to him.
They gave me a Final Fantasy.
We get him like 4 Final Fantasy
box,
games.
and then I opened it. There's a Final Fantasy. I was like,
What about you, Jen? Do you play games?
I don't really play video games much, but my favorite that I really loved and I used to play was Super Mario Brothers.
Oh yeah, Mario Kart. That's actually probably my favorite game is Mario Kart. I'm a huge Mario Kart fan. And him too. He's very, yes.
Oh,
What about
You're
Wii
pretty
Bowling,
good,
man?
You're pretty good. What about you?
I don't play video games, but two things I can play: Mario Kart, and
She can kind of keep it on the track.
I'm so good at Tetris.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, forgot Tetris.
We got into a Tetris battle once in Japan, and it was a mistake because you got to that point where you close your eyes and you just see falling shapes. Anyway, thank you very much for coming. We're gonna